Bruh.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Has this situation ever occurred to you? If your answer is yes, then unfortunately, you have a high chance of being infected with the RmaN syndrome. This is a very harmful disease that will ruin your life entirely. But please, don't worry, I'm here to help. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Leonell, and I've been treating patients with RmaN syndrome for 2 years now. I will show you how to actually AP and save your life. But I should warn you that this is a very difficult process that requires a great amount of practicing and luck. This disease is not curable in a short period of time. Alright, let's actually start and begin with settings. There's some stuff missing in my previous video, but a lot of the tips carries over, so here's a super quick recap. Here are the settings you will need for an AP. Note speed, preferably 10+. Once you go beyond that, it's really up to your preference. Some people use 11, I use 10.4, doesn't matter, up to you. Offset is up to your personal preference again, I don't use any, but I also see a lot of people using -2, but normally you won't need it if you are using wire headphones. Turn on late quick flick option, and lastly, turn off music videos if you can't handle flashy backgrounds. Audio is up to your personal preference, but I suggest you get rid of voices because it's quite annoying. I myself mute voices and half the sound effect. It sure does help you concentrate on the song. Settings aside, we have team composition. You can use perfect lockers to help you with AP. It takes a lot of work and materials to fully level 4-star card skills, so you can also consider a cheaper option of 3-star cards. But these are not get out of jail free cards, so never rely on them too much. In a typical master or expert beat map, there are 3 different notes: the normal notes, the hold notes, and the flick notes. Hold notes. In some songs like Oneness Masters or Nostalgia Masters, there's a certain section where the hold notes slide everywhere. So instead of using a single finger, you can hold down the general area where the notes will cover with 2 or more fingers, and it will still register. But what makes people lose their AP the most is flick notes. I mentioned briefly in my previous FC video. There are 3 types of flick: the left flick, the right flick, and also the upwards flick. You can flick whatever direction you like, but I would highly suggest doing it sideways. However, if you flick sideways in the wrong direction, such as flicking left for a right flick or vice versa, you will get grade instead. But this limit does not apply to upward flick or downward flick. Still, I would suggest doing the flicks on sideways, but you must make sure that you are doing it on the right direction. Now you get the notes right, there are some common chart patterns that you must conquer, no matter it is for AP or FC. First, we have the alternate note. These are the most common and the most basic element in a beat map, often representing a drum roll. You can see a lot of these in song maps that are released earlier. You can also see a ton of these in high level expert maps, in particular the rapping section and the disappearance of Hatsune Miku. The trick here is to increase the note speed so that the notes are spread wider and easier to be read. Secondly, we have tiny and irregular notes. These are not technical, but they are extremely annoying for tiny phone users like iPhone mini. You need a magnifying glass for songs like Patchwork Staccato Masters and Identity Masters. These songs all have these tiny ass notes. Otherwise, some songs will also feature irregular or weird shaped notes, such as the Cup Noodle collab song or Gimme Gimme Masters. For these notes, you just have to recognize the maps and probably play it a couple more times. Third, we have the slide note, but I have mentioned this earlier in the video. This trick, however, doesn't work with songs with trickier and shorter slides like this one. So you must also learn how to time it right. Fourth, we have the note spam. This has got to be one of the trickiest patterns in the game, and what's worse is that they put it at the end of the game to screw you up. I'm sure anyone who played Mail to Master will know what I mean. You play for 3 minutes, barely keeping your combo, and note spam finishes you off. Other examples include this Miku song. There are 2 ways to do it. The first way is to treat it like alternate notes that are stuck together. Use your left hand and then right hand and then left hand and so on. If you're a fun player, this is the most common way to do it as well. The second way is to use the second hand with 2 fingers. Alternate between your index finger and your middle finger. Choose whatever method you want, but timing is the most important here. Lastly, we have flick spam, or flick plus note spam. Let's talk about flick spam first. It's just a bunch of flick notes that are super close to each other. It's really annoying, and there's no trick to go through it. You just need to be fast. Another pattern is flick plus note spam. What I would usually do is to flick both sides continuously and even on normal notes, since it will still register. Road Key Masters is a great song to practice your flicks. So in general, there are 2 playstyles, thumb players and index players, and then those who can play the game like a damn piano. I highly suggest you to use your index fingers because it offers much more flexibility and you can move your hands pretty easily around. This video shows an example of the differences between a thumb player and index finger player. One problem with index fingers on small phone, however, is that your phone will slide away like how my ex left me. That's why you need a proper setup. Use something like a mat with friction on the back, such as the back of your mousepad, and place your device on the mat. In that way, the device is secured and it won't go anywhere. You should also keep your eyes on top of the lane, which can give your reading timing and accuracy significantly better, since it gives you more time to react. If you find that you have a hard time reacting to the notes, then you should probably decrease your note speed. AP is all about accuracy. If you can't reliably FC masters, then don't even think about all perfecting it. If you're super new to the game, then I suggest you work your way to hard or expert first, instead of staying in easy or normal mode all the time. Go with hard mode first, and then if you can reliably FC hard mode, then it's a sign for you to move on to expert. To train your way to master, you can try harder expert songs like Teal. As higher levels rely on your quick reflex, you can improve your reaction and muscle memory by doing all perfects on easier songs. In whatever level, however, Tell Your World is always a great way and a very good song to practice all perfect. So here are some other general tips on how to AP. First of all, listen to songs before playing to understand the rhythm behind it. Project Sekai and all rhythm games are not Call of Duty, and it's not a game that is purely based on vision. It's a music game. You need to treat the game like a musical instrument. Secondly, go to YouTube and watch others play. If there's any song that you're struggling with, go onto YouTube and just search for the song. For example, here's the video of the trickier section of Meld. By watching other videos, it can teach you hand placement. However, it won't help you AP hold the pop masters because it's impossible to do so. When you're playing a song, control yourself and your nerves. When you're at the end of the song, you automatically feel nervous with your hands sweating and your heart beating. Please control your emotions. That is where the one miss or one great memes come from. Calm down your nerves and control your breath. Remember that one screw up and you will lose your AP. My last tip for you is to practice, practice and practice. In skill-based game, no matter you're playing a first-person shooter or throwing snowballs in Club Penguin, it always requires you to put in efforts and time to practice. But please, the most important tip from me in this video is to always know your limits. Don't grind the same song for 3 hours. It's frustrating and frankly, you won't be able to AP it. When I'm trying to AP or full combo a song, I apply a 5-time rule. If I miss the same spot for more than 5 times, I will take a break and then try again later. All in all, there's not a miracle medicine for you to AP instantly. But I hope that my video can help you out. So subscribe for more awesome content released every 1 to 3 weeks. Goodbye.